Okay, so when you want to go to WebEx, you want to make sure you type nccu.webex.com, and it takes us to the WebEx page. And then we're going to log in using your NCCU credentials. So let's see if you already have, well, I mean, you definitely have one because it comes with Okay, so let's click the X. This allows you to add WebEx to Microsoft Outlook. We don't have to do that right now. Okay, and just click out of there. Okay, so when we're in WebEx, you can click on My WebEx, which takes you to your personal page. So you can either choose to go directly into your personal room, and it's starting the WebEx program. Okay, and so there are a variety of options that you can use in your room. So these first bubbles that pop up tell you that anyone can join your room that you allow. So if you send them a link or you send them an invitation, they can join your room. Yeah. But let's say you decided to use WebEx for a synchronous class meeting. And you know how sometimes when students show up late to class, some instructors prohibit them from entering in the class. You could do the same thing potentially with WebEx. So you can tell your students that we meet at 9 a.m. and if you are not registered and enrolled in the room, you haven't joined the room by 9 a.m., the room will be locked, and so they cannot join. Okay. You can also share your screen, and we'll talk about that in just a sec, but you can share your screen by clicking on this link. Now, when you have a meeting started, they give you several options to call in. You can either they'll use your students or whoever you've invited, colleagues, to join your meeting will have a number, a phone number, a toll-free phone number that they can call, or they can call using their computer. So as long as your computer has a microphone or a built-in microphone, they can click call using computer, and we'll see that it's connecting.
Is it like iPad and
right?
iPhone?
That would work.
Yeah, any of the devices, like
Mac. Exactly.
Okay.
So it tells us that we're connected to the audio. Our computer is working, the audio is working, and we can tell that because it shows that we're talking right now. Then you could also start video. So if you want to display your video, it'll do the same thing and load, and you'll see this little green button letting you know. So if you want to pause your video, so for example, when I was at home, I had a meeting on WebEx with a colleague, and my son came in the room, and he was just all over the place doing stuff inside. Asked, just hold on just a moment. So I paused the video by clicking that.
Okay. Even you can mute it also.
Exactly, you can mute it as well. Okay. So these are the basic functions in the room. You can record your WebEx meeting by clicking on this, and then it'll load. It'll first ask you to give it a title, give the video a title, and you can choose to save it wherever you want on your computer. Once you do that and then press save, so we'll just say trial recording, and save it wherever you want on your computer, then you'll see this icon pop up, this little menu bar eventually. There we go. Okay, so here's the recorder panel. Okay. And so you just press record and it'll start recording. So that is most of what's available to you. When you have other participants join, you can choose to mute them if you want, or leave it for them to do.
This shows how many participants are there.
Exactly. So all of the names will show up.
They can have the chart.
Right. And the participants, you'll see their images down below.
Okay.
And when they talk, whenever someone else starts talking, their image will populate here in this space.
Even notes they can do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do notes. You can type notes down here.
Mm.
You can also
Yeah.
use a whiteboard.
So what
And
are the
then
features for the whiteboard?
You have the pen, and you can choose the color.
Colors, okay.
So and
You have
then
the
we
eraser.
can-
Okay.
Right. We can
Okay.
A plus. All right. Or you can type on the whiteboard.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
We have the eraser. You can clear just your annotation. So maybe you had this, your participants contribute, but you just want to get rid of yours, or you can clear all of the annotations. Okay. And then we also have the arrows. This is showing that you have selected this particular, or you are pointing at the recorder panel.
Okay.
So let's go to where it says share screen. So if we click on share screen, your participants can see everything that's on your computer screen. So they see all of your tabs, they see everything down here, they see your entire screen.
Yeah.
And if we scroll to the top, you see the different options. So you can choose to have someone else, another participant, be a presenter.
Okay.
You could also see your participants' side. You can have a chat option if you want to chat to everyone, or maybe if there were other participants, you could choose which person you'd like to chat. And then whenever you're ready to stop sharing your screen, you just click stop sharing. So we can, now when you are recording, make sure you press, before you leave the room, make sure you press stop, and then it will save your recording to your computer, and then you can leave the room. And this reminds you that once you leave the room, you're ending the meeting for all of your participants. So we're going to head and leave the room.
So where is the the code, like what the students get for participation?
Well, I'll show you that right now. Okay. So the way that you do that is you can schedule a meeting in two ways. You can either schedule a meeting for the future, or if you know that you need to meet someone right now, you can click meet right now.
Okay.
And so what'll happen is they give you this link that you can copy and send that to everyone who you want to join right now.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can choose schedule a meeting. This is what I usually do. You choose a meeting topic. So my first meeting. Okay. And then you can either use the password they give you, or you can use a password that's easy for everyone to access. Most persons don't need passwords to get into the meeting. They just need, once you type their email address down here, WebEx will send them the link that they select to join the meeting.
So I have to type here?
Right. So
the student's email address.
Right, exactly. So you type the student's email addresses here.
If
But first,
I have somewhere in the Word document, I can just copy and paste?
yes, you can. And all they need is for you to separate it by a comma.
Comma. It's not colon. It's comma.
No, it's a comma.
Okay.
Yeah. Or a semicolon. They're fine with that.
Yeah. Okay. Because in the Outlook, it's a semicolon.
Right. So you choose the date. If it's a future date, time, the duration approximately, and then you can choose to have it send a copy to you, but it'll automatically send you, letting you know that you scheduled a meeting.
Okay.
And
save the template.
Right.
If you want to use it future, because all the email addresses are saved.
Exactly.
What you need to do is only changing the date and time.
Right.
Okay.
And so then you, let's do a future time.
Okay.
And you'll say schedule meeting.
Maybe PM. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, and then press schedule meeting, and then it'll automatically send whoever you put in here the link to get on WebEx. And that is basically it. If you do record meetings, you can click on my recorded meetings. And so since we recorded a meeting, we could click add recording. You fill in the information. And then since we saved it to our computer, we would choose use the file on my local machine, and then you just look for the file. So it'd be under my documents and wherever you had saved the file.
How the file is saved?
Like it saves as a WAV.
Okay. So is it most of the computers they have, or they need to download something?
Most of them, they should be okay with it. I'm still playing around with this.
Mhm.
But most of them should be okay as long as they can get into WebEx. They should be able to open the file because the file is what you are uploading to WebEx. So I believe it should play
Mhm.
within the system,
Mhm.
but that's still
Can I
something
use it
I'm working with.
internationally because I'm having students abroad?
Absolutely. Well, you're
Mm.
sending the way that you're inviting them is via email address.
Email address.
So you should be able to
I
do
should
that.
be able to.
As-
So it works in the weekend or any time.
oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Because their timings are different. So I'm trying to do some guest lectures for them.
hmm
So I think this portal is. I can share the screen,
Oh yes.
so I can, like in the meetings, I can do the lecture part. I can show my PowerPoints and I can talk and all.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
I may try with my daughter
Okay.
first. Like she's yeah. Then,
And you don't have to have an NCCU email address to.
yeah. Send it.
Right. They don't have
Okay.
to have the NCCU
Yeah.
email address. We tried that out the other day, and I used my Gmail.
Gmail. Yeah.
Mhm,
So
yeah.
it worked out.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's WebEx in a nutshell. I'm going to go ahead and